to choose a realtor, one that you like, one that's going to get you guys success. What happens and who pays the commission for that. And I just want to welcome you. My name is Tristen, and I am your local North County real estate expert. And I just want to say hi to anybody joining me or who will be watching this later as we continue posting live interactions. So Ultimate Guide to Buying a Home here in San Diego County, we'll be doing this once a month for about 30 minutes. And next week we'll be joined by our lender live, which will be awesome. I'm so excited about that. My experience here is all things North County, San Diego. So everywhere north of the 56, even into Claremont, up into Oceanside, Vista, San Marcos, Fallbrook, all kinds of areas. Encinitas, it's just my expertise is up here. But that doesn't change on how you pick a realtor. So when you guys are thinking, let's go just dive into it and ask any questions. I'm also doing a free strategy session. I will be posting the link to be booking with me below. So make sure you find that link when you can. I'm still working on this live video thing. So just an opportunity to get to know you guys and you guys get to know me. So how the heck do you pick a realtor? There are so many realtors right now. It is a really easy business to get certified in. If you have any questions about becoming a realtor, feel free to ask me. I'm super happy to answer them. It's a pretty simple test we all take. Unfortunately, it really doesn't cover anything about selling real estate. It doesn't cover your contracts. It doesn't cover how to negotiate. It doesn't cover really anything useful. So you really need to, when looking for a realtor, somebody who, first of all, that you personally connect with. You're going to spend a lot of time with this person. You need to have a connection with them. You need to really like the way that they interact with you. Make sure they're listening, really listening to what your needs are. They should offer a free one-on-one consultation, either on the phone or in person. I prefer in person. We sit down for about 30 minutes and we talk, and you describe your perfect house to me or what your goals are about selling your home. And I really want to get to know you, your family, your lifestyle, because this is a very big decision. So it's really important that you like the person, because you are going to be stuck with them for a little bit. Then looking into experience and qualifications, okay? So how many homes has this person sold? Are they a full-time realtor or are they a part-time realtor? I get a lot of people who are using family members for real estate, and my experience with that has not always been great. It's, I think, really important to keep family and finances separate. If your family member is just an awesome realtor and they're killing it and crushing it and they know what they're doing and they're experienced and they are listening, go for it. But if it's just like your mother-in-law's friend who is selling a few houses a year and is going to give you a good deal, really think twice about that, because this is a huge, not only legal transaction, but it's also a personal transaction. You're going to live there. You want to save money, but you also want to get the right house. And it can take time to find that right house. So make sure somebody is selling more than 4 houses a year. San Diego, the real estate average is 4 houses. For example, I sell about 12 to 20 houses a year, pretty consistently with my team, and we are very successful at negotiating our contracts and getting our offers accepted for our buyers. And then these are tried and tested systems that we've put into place. So making sure that you like your realtor, making sure that the realtor has experience, and making sure that the realtor knows that contract inside and out. I'm going to give a shout out to my broker, Steve, right now, who made me read him that contract every single day for a month until I could recite it by heart. But it is a legal document, and it's so important, you guys, to be able to be protected within the confines of that legal commentary, so that you really know that you are safe and protected and you can't get sued, and you're in the contract and that house is on its way to be yours. So what are the 3 things? Let's see. We have like the realtor, right? Because you're going to be stuck with them. We have experience, because it really does matter. We have understanding the contract and the actual paperwork part of the situation. And then the one other thing about picking a good realtor, after they sit down with you and meet with you, once you start looking at houses, it is going to get overwhelming. Okay, you're gonna start thinking about things you didn't know you needed. You're gonna start thinking about, oh, what if I wanted this? The realtor's really there to help you come back to your original goals, help you visualize and see yourself living in that home. Is this going to fit your needs? Are you guys outdoor people? And this one only has a small deck, but now it has an ocean view. Maybe that's changed. But keeping it consistent and keeping your needs right in front of you so that you stay focused on your goals. So that's a huge thing that people don't really think about. Escrow timelines and escrows are complicated. Every escrow I've ever done in several, like hundreds of transactions now, has been incredibly different. And being very creative in your solutions is really important as a real estate agent, because a whole transaction could fall apart, which just leads to the buyers being so disappointed. So having somebody who can also creatively solve problems is a huge thing. So that's how I would choose a realtor, right? I'd find somebody that I really clicked with. I'd ask a lot about their experience. I'd be curious if they would want to sit down with me and educate me on the home buying process, complimentary with no obligations. I would make sure that they understand the contract. I would make sure I feel like they were listening and keeping me on track. And then I'd make sure that they were a proven problem solver in complicated situations. So that's how to choose a realtor here in San Diego. And the next part is who pays for your realtor. With today's market changing so much, it traditionally has been the seller. So the seller will pay for the buyer's agent. So generally the buyers do not have to pay anything to get their own representation, which is huge because it's a huge cost savings. It's a lot of money. So it's very important to know that. However, with new marketing strategies coming on board, open listings and purple bricks, these organizations are no longer paying the buyer's agents. And they're asking the buyer's agents to go to the buyers and ask the buyers to pay them directly. This is a real big disservice, in my opinion, to buyers in general, because it's encouraging them to use the listing agent. And using the listing agent is very complicated because that listing agent is already committed to representing the sellers. So although they're legally able to represent you, are you going to get the best representation from somebody who's already representing the other party? How can that be fair and honest and both parties feel like their interests are protected? So by cutting out a buyer's agent, we're really hurting our buyers. Buyers need protection. This is a complicated transaction. You need somebody to stand up for your rights and negotiate on your behalf. So the way it is traditional, and thankfully it's still going that way, that the buyer's commission, agent's commission is paid for by the seller. So buying a house traditionally is less expensive than purchasing a home. So keep that in mind, but when you go to sell, it'll all come back around, okay? The last thing I wanted to cover with you guys, today's just going to be a short one, is hi guys, thanks for doing a little shout out. I like that. This is all new to me, so I'm just really excited that anybody is watching. The last thing too is, what if I change my mind? So as a buyer in the state of California, you are so protected. Like, you are so protected. You can back out up to 17 days, get your money back for your deposit. My advice to everybody is to lock up that house and get that offer in to start your inspection time, which we're going to cover in a few weeks. And that way you can make your own choice, versus if you're on the fence and you don't make the offer, then what you could happen is you could lose the house to somebody else. At least if you get the house and you change your mind, you can walk away. There is no money due for you within the first 3 days of that escrow being open. So it's kind of like a buyer's cooling off period. And it's totally fine if you cancel. I so would rather you cancel than miss out on the house. If you have questions, you guys, I love answering them. And I'm always happy to talk. I'll be putting the link in here about how to book a complimentary live strategy session with me. We can do it on the phone or we can do it in person. I prefer in person. It's just more personable. And that really is the way I work with clients, is very one-on-one to achieve your goals. Next week, we're going to have our lender on live. So if you have lending questions and loan questions, please make sure that you tune in, not next week, sorry, next month, that you tune in next month and you bring your questions there. He's going to cover the different kinds of loans, the way to get prepared to get a loan, and answer questions about this. So it's really important, you guys. I think people don't think they can buy a house, but they really can. Or within a few months of working with my team, we can get you in a house. And there's a great quote, when is a good time to buy a house? Well, 5 years ago, because if you don't get into the housing market, it's really hard to get into it later on in San Diego. We'll be covering market updates in our other live seminar later on this month. And I just want to thank you guys so much for watching. I'll be reposting this video in case you missed it. Thanks again. This is Tristen with Home by Tristen. Bye. Bye-bye. And yes, I went in.